Mary had a little lamb. Jack and Jill went up the hill, and little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jeffrey Darty. I'm the Christian Whistleblower, and I'm welcoming you into the Gospel Truth channel, bringing you some information that I found to be very shocking at the depth and the breadth of the indoctrination that we have been subject to. And we don't even realize how bad and how thorough our indoctrination is. We are very literally, ladies and gentlemen, being indoctrinated from cradle to grave. And we're being indoctrinated even with the nursery rhymes that we hear and the nursery rhymes that we teach our children and our grandchildren. Hello to April. Hello to Hillary. Hello to Warrior Princess. People flowing into the chat room, even though this is a bonus wild card, unscheduled episode. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner. I'm sure this won't be the last of these, but it was GTA, 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 Gospel Truth Army. And Davey reminds me it's Gospel Truth Army worldwide. Absolutely. And it was Rocker Chick that sent me an email that sparked this, or I don't know if it was an email or if it was a comment on the web, on the channel, but it got me going. And I'm with you, April. I am not fond of the nursery rhymes, but I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, how insidious, how deep our programming is. Hello, Mystery Johnson. How deep and insidious the programming is of the dominant religious paradigm to get us stuck even from the cradle, ladies and gentlemen, on these ideas that they are perpetrating, these ideas that they are perpetuating, these ideas that they are stuffing down our throats. Fairy tales, I'm not sure on those yet, but hello from Tennessee. Hello to Tennessee. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. There's a ton of them. Feel free to send me your information and your ideas at christianwhistleblower@gmail.com. But there's just a few that I have here that I wanted to share with you. And here's the first one. And this is the one that Rocker Chick said, hey, what about this? And of course, we're looking at the very, very well-known, and this is from the poetryfoundation.org. Mary Had a Little Lamb by Sandra Josepha Hale. And that's even interesting. Josephus, Sarah Abraham, Hale, Sarah, Hale Josepha. I don't know if that was the lady's name or not, but there are no coincidences. That's very, very interesting. And let's just look at this little poem. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. It followed her to school one day, which was against the rule. It made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. And so the teacher turned it out, but still it lingered near and waited patiently about till Mary did appear. Why does the lamb love Mary so? The eager children cry. Why, Mary loves the lamb, you know. The teacher did reply. So think about this within a wider context of the religious culture. Mary, Mother Mary, Virgin Mary, had a little lamb. Mary had the little baby, Jesus, who was to become what? The Lamb of God. Jesus is called many, many times throughout the Bible, the Lamb of God. And you know, I spent 20 years preaching, and I try to remind myself to just talk, not preach, not speak, just talk. But it's very, very hard for me not to become back into preacher or speaker mode. So Mary, the fake virgin, the whole Jesus story never happened. I keep telling you that over and over. But Mary supposedly had this little lamb, the baby Jesus, frilly golden diapers lying in the manger, which never happened. The whole Jesus story, the whole thing, manger, baby, stars, wise men, gifts, shepherds, Thousands of years before Jesus, quote unquote, was allegedly born, this was already in hundreds of other religions. It is made up to try to push the Christ into the background and create a placeholder for the fallen, flawed, failed God of the Bible, the Lord, he that shall not be named, but I have to name him because there's so many new people coming in, to be able to use him as a placeholder when he tries to launch a false flag second coming event. So Mary, Mother Mary, had a little lamb, baby Jesus. His fleece was white as snow. We know that Jesus was white as snow because he was without sin. And we know that when you bring a lamb to slaughter, it has to be white as snow. It can't have any faults or deformities. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. This is a promise, and this is a threat. That little lamb of Mary's, that Jesus, he's everywhere. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. And that little lamb, he's making a list. He's checking it twice. He's going to find out who's naughty and nice. He's standing up there with the big book. Remember the book of life. And if you have something wrong, he puts a big X next to your name. Everywhere that Mary goes, that lamb is sure to go. They even try to bring the lamb into school. They even try to bring in the Christian religion to school in the United States. The Catholic Church has its own school system, but the Protestants, we've said, no, that's against the rule. We're not going to have your Jesus into our schools. The children would laugh and play if we could just bring the lamb to school. It'd be so nice if we could just teach Christianity in the schools. It'd be so nice if we could just indoctrinate all of the children in the schools, just like the Catholic school system, because we want that lamb to go everywhere. We want that lamb to be in the Catholic schools, in the Protestant school system, into the public school system. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if you're the Christian's Christian. I don't care if you go to church 8 days a week. Do not ever advocate for Christian religious instruction within the public schools, because if they do that, it's a short step to Islam, it's a short step to other teachings, or we become a theocracy dominated by the religion that happens to be on top that day. And if yours isn't on top, you're on bottom. You don't want to live in a theocracy, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, we don't want that little lamb at school. Thankfully, the teacher turned it out, but it's still lingering near. They're still going to try. They're still going to work. They still want to push the Christianization of America. And no, it's not the Christianization. It's the rat bastardization. It's waiting patiently, trying to see, is Mary going to appear and come back and try to tell us, oh, we need to have all of this in our public schools. Why does the lamb love Mary? Why does the lamb love us so much? Why does the lamb of God that kills and demands human sacrifice, why does he love us so much, even though he makes us cry? Because we love the lamb, you know. The teacher did reply, he only loves you if you love him. Proof positive of that is, if you love him, he might let you into heaven. If you don't love him, he's going to throw you in a place called hell and burn you forever. Mary had a little baby Jesus who's sinless and white as snow. Everywhere you go, that baby Jesus has got his eye on you. He's just waiting to zap you. He even wants to follow you into school. He wants you to know that if you love him, he might let you get through. But if you don't love him, you're going straight to a burning lake of fire. Mother Mary, her little baby Jesus. Mary had a little lamb. How many times have we told that to children? How many times have we heard that as children? Ladies and gentlemen, it's indoctrination of the highest order, getting us indoctrinated into the rat bastard's frame of mind. Let me go to the chat room and see what people think about this one. Just joined the chat room. There's an old woman who swallowed a horse. She's dead, of course. The Grim Tales, Rockabye Baby, When the Bough Breaks, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Her Father Shot It Dead. Oh, Davy, you're terrible. Ashes, Ashes. The lamb story happened to be Mary. Yeah, it had to be Mary. Everyone, please like cartoons, songs. Davey said, welcome. Spooky nursery rhymes. Jesus is only Santa on Christmas. Jesus is Santa every day. And there's no surprise or coincidence that they mix the two together. The Bible, not only does the Bible put fear into you, but so do nursery rhymes too. I don't know if Christine meant to be a poet, but she definitely was. What's the Pledge of Allegiance? Not quite a year. This happened to the lamb. Here we go again. Stinky little lamb. Any of you catch Project Camelot? Please stop posting and pimping other shows while we're trying to have a show here. I would appreciate that. Would there be the animal between the popularity of the lion and the dragon? That's very interesting. The lion and the dragon, the cat and the serpent caught between the predators. Even teach that killing, stealing, trespassing is normal. Jack and the Beanstalk. Interesting. Lambs are rather odd looking. Good insight, Jeff. Thank you very much. Local dollar stores, decorations out. Pimps, I agree. Disney is the worst. And let's go back for another little nursery rhyme. And how about this one? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Up Jack got, and home did trot as fast as he could caper, to old Dame Dob, who patched his knob with vinegar and brown paper. We're going to look at something together here in just a minute. Jack and Jill, men and women, male and female, went up the hill. They went up the hill. They started going the hard way. They went up the hill. They took some personal initiative for what? To fetch a pail of water. What is water emblematic of? Water is emblematic of the true spirit of the divine. The washing of the water by the word, the water that flows from the belly, the water that is the Christ, the true water of the Christ. So Jack and Jill went up the hill. They went against the current paradigm. They went against the stream. They went up the hill, men and women up the hill to fetch a pail of water, to find some true spiritual teaching and reality. What happened? What happens to people that go up the hill and just don't stay in the valley and do what they're told? What happens to people that try to fetch their own water? They fall down. They break their crown. Is that an allusion to the crown chakra? They break their crown. They break the idea that they think they can be divine. And then Jill comes tumbling after. Men fall, women fall whenever they try to go up the hill and fetch a pail of water. And once you try that and you fall a few times, you learn your lesson. You get up and you go home as fast as you can. And they patch you up with what? Paper. What's the Bible made out of? Paper. What's vinegar? What did they give to the Christ on the cross? Or the Jesus on the cross? Plastic Jesus? Vinegar. Dame Dob patched his knob. Who the hell is Dame Dob? Dame Dob. Who is Dame Dob? Let's look at this a minute. Oh, not that one. Who is Dame Dob? Interpretations. Who is Dame Dob? Is Jack and Jill a sinister nursery rhyme? Who is Dame Dob? Who is Dame Dob? I don't know, but it sounds rather weird to me. But there's the obvious implications of don't seek out your own water. Don't go up the hill because it's going to lead you to pain and suffering. It's no good. So let's see exactly what we've got here talking about this one. That's Scottish. I bet they're funny. Grateful Dead song, Energy Channel. Water is an energy channel. Water is a cleansing channel. Good job, Hillary Davis, Jack and Jill. Oh, there we go. Neptune, Water Dreams. Uranus and Gaia is the first part. Sophia the Gnostic, the crown is taken. Everything's a lie, so bad. Let's go, and I got one more for you. What do you think about this one right here? And this one I think is going to surprise you. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider, sat down beside her, frightened Miss Muffet away. First of all, what is a tuffet? A tuffet is a footstool or a low seat. So, that's even better. Miss Muffet is sitting on a tuffet, a lowly seat. She's in a low place. She's just barely off the ground. It's just a little low seat. She's in a very low place, Miss Tuffet. Why is that important? She's sitting on a tuffet, very, very humble. She's eating her what? She's eating her curds and whey. Well, what in the world are curds and whey? Let's see. Curds and whey. Curds and whey, what are they? Let's see what Wikipedia says about curds and whey. Nursery rhyme. For curds and whey, it's the curd. It's a dairy product. It's a very humble thing that poor people eat. It's like sopping up your porridge. You're sitting in a low place. You're eating poor people food. And what did the Bible say? It said that the spirit, the truth is given to those what? That are poor in spirit. The truth is given not to many of the rich and powerful. So along comes a spider, sits down beside her. Why would this poor person have a spider come sit down beside her? Well, the scriptures say that the meek will inherit the earth, that the poor receive most of the gospel because the rich people don't want any part of it. Along came a spider. The spider is an ancient symbol of mystery, power, and growth. The spider symbol reminds us that our choices construct our lives. The spider, mystery, power, growth. The spider, we can choose our own self. We can construct our own lives. But the spider comes to this lowly woman who's obviously a cog in the wheel of the paradigm. She's feeding other people's dreams. Along comes a spider to enlighten her. But what are we taught? Whenever spiders come, we're taught that whenever anyone comes to serve us, that we can have our own power, that we can have our own growth, or that there's a mystery beyond what we're told. Whenever anything comes and tells us that we can make our own choices and we can construct our own lives, what should happen? We should be scared. And we should run away. Ladies and gentlemen, deep, deep level mind control, deep, deep level indoctrination, deep, deep level of people trying to control us. It's very deep. It's very powerful. It's very pervasive. And it's time for us to wake up and realize how deep our stuff is here, ladies and gentlemen. It shows us how deep things are and how deep the indoctrination is. So let's finish up on this. Water baptism, a tuffet eating spoiled milk, milk and cheese, not exactly rich people food, curds and whey, low income. Learning lots today. This is what we're here for. Spiders weave webs. Isn't the spider a code name for agent of darkness? No. My son and I were talking about this the other day. Awesome. Let's try to stay on point. Spiders make silk. Whoops. It is deep. It is deep. I know you're talking about who supports colostrum. He's a friend of mine. Please stop. Spider-Man is transhumanism. That's a little bit of a reach, but that's okay. The rhymes being a trance. That's right. You say them over and over. It does become a trance. Very, very good. Not fearless, just disappointed about everything. It is disappointing when we find out how deep down the rabbit hole the indoctrination is. Maybe I'm all wet. Maybe it's more than you think. Jack and Jill does discourage children from climbing the hill of spirituality. Miss Muffet tells you to be afraid of enlightenment. And what was the last one we did? I forgot. Jack and Jill. Oh, and Mary had a little lamb. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, trance, mantras, interesting folks, interesting stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting stuff to think about, interesting stuff to ponder. Look through your life and see what things you're doing that are indoctrinating you, that are indoctrinating your children. Start to program yourself with your own intention and not with somebody else's intention. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, encouraging you to be your own guru, to guide your own spirit, to master your own ascension. I'm saluting you for being here seeking after truth and encouraging you, ladies and gentlemen, to unindoctrinate yourself.